Each primary title in the Fizz and Martina series contains 4 episodes, which take about 1 to 2 class periods to complete. Throughout the Fizz and Martina process, students work in cooperative coaching teams. We recommend groups of 4 in which each student plays a distinct role. However, you may also use groups of 3 or pairs. For each episode, teams will need copies of the 2 teamwork pages. One student on each team should be designated as the writer and will be in charge of recording the team's answers. Students begin by watching and listening to the animated story.
But back to the crisis. The pair of us, Virginia and I, would push a squinch down 5 inches. Would we fit under the footbridge?
Eventually, the characters in the story encounter a math problem. The video comes to a stop, and students divide into their cooperative teams to work on the teamwork pages. These pages guide students through a 4-step problem-solving process, which requires students to represent a single math problem in pictures, numbers, and words. Let's take a look at this process, one step at a time. First, students work together to draw a picture of the math problem, adding their own simple drawings to a provided illustration.
We'll do the boy and the girl, Fizz and the other girl, the duck, and then the sign. Caution 10.
This step reaches out to visual learners.
It seems that the drawing brings them all together right away. They all want to make sure they have all the different people and the different things in, and it's a really good opener for them to get involved.
When the teams have finished, it's time for students to share their drawings. The teacher uses the team picker to select one of the coaching teams. This feature ensures equal participation by all groups and playfully eases the burden of calling on teams. Then, the teacher chooses a student on the selected team to present the team's work.
In the yellow team, tell me what were the things that you drew and why you drew it. Let's start with Jared.
We drew Virginia and Fizz, and we drew some gold star pieces.
Okay.
And the caution sign, 10 inches.
If the answer is correct and complete, every member of the team wins an award card, reinforcing the idea that all team members contributed to this success.
The kids love the cards. They learn the characters so well in the video that they even get down to what Fizz cards they want. It can get pretty competitive, and I do play that up, too, in the beginning.
After one team is answered, the teacher may solicit additional answers from other teams, or may simply move on to the next question. Next, students translate their pictures into a numeric representation of the problem. First, they write an equation in the boxes provided. Then they copy the equation without boxes.
12 minus 7, 12 minus 5, equals 7.
This step gives students practice with the formal symbols of mathematics. When the teams have finished, the teacher again chooses students to share their team's answers.
12 minus 5 equals 7.
Okay, where did you get the 12?
The boat was 12 inches high.
Okay, where did you get the 5?
Because there was 2 people, and Fizz remembered the rhyme that when every 2 pair makes the boat sink 5 inches.
After representing the problem in pictures and numbers, the third step is to explain it in words. The teacher holds up a special Fizz puppet, then invites students to tell a story explaining how they solved the problem.
Now, don't be afraid to tell Fizz here. Why are we looking at these numbers? What's happening? What's happening?
When you got into the boat, then it was 12.
It was 12 inches, what? Above the water, okay.
And then when Virginia got in, it said 5 inches.
What does that have to do with the story?
It's going to help you go under the bridge.
This spoken retelling of the math problem helps students connect everyday language with mathematical symbols and operations.
The part that they find hard is the third step where they have to just explain, because they feel that they have to have a pencil in their hand. Sometimes they get into too many details, and so we try to really, what is the main idea of the problem?
Finally, students work in groups to predict what will happen next in the story. On the teamwork pages, students draw an expression onto Fizz's blank face, showing how he'll react when he finds out the answer.
We drew him scared because the motorboat might catch up to him and they could catch him. No, let's make him happy because he gets in.
The teacher chooses a student to explain the consequences of the math problem for Fizz. This step places the problem back in its narrative context, helping students see how math plays a part in their lives. When students have completed the teamwork pages, they watch a final animated segment which reveals the consequences of the math problem. And of course, the episode ends with a cliffhanger, so students can't wait to return to class for more mathematical adventures with Fizz and Martina. As you use Fizz and Martina's math adventures in your classroom, you'll be amazed at the results.
It was nice to see girls in the classroom taking stronger leadership roles in mathematics activities.
I have one boy who can't read at all. He could never read the word problems with Fizz and Martina, but he can tell you those answers and he can explain it. His teammates will notice that he's an important part of their team, and he feels pretty good about himself.
I have a 5th grade girl named Rachel who doesn't exude confidence in math. She has excellent oral skills, and in her Fizz and Martina group, she is a leader, she is confident, and she is very eager to participate.
I've honestly never seen kids so engrossed in a math lesson.